So it's the start of a brand new season, and we are undoubtedly in a worse position than we were at the end of last season. We're still pending a board takeover, so we've not been able to do any transfers incoming. We're still under that transfer embargo. It's getting very, very annoying now. Welcome back to Buxton 2.0. Yes, welcome on back. Start off on the transfer page where you can see we've just been doing outgoings basically. Let's talk about the loanees first of all. Sam Wormley taken to Bradford Park Avenue. Antonio Caruna on loan to Marceloc, possibly. Ola Doherty's gone out on loan to South Shields. Neil Howe has gone on a free transfer to Barnet, as has Hugo Denham to Brackley. And then we talk about the outgoings for money. Lewis Needs has gone to Forest Green Rovers for £15,000. He played an awful lot for us last season. You know, I really did like this lad. But once the bigger teams started to come in for him, he wanted to leave Forest Green or League Two. Yeah, League Two. Um, he wanted to leave. We tried to negotiate with him. In the end, we accepted £15,000 for him. Not bad for someone that we got on a free. But disappointed to lose him. Jemai Simpson-Puseg has gone to Cheltenham for £50,000, potentially rising to £60,000. Again, another free transfer. Played 61 times for us, but I never quite, trusted him enough for him to be a consistent regular, especially last season in the run-in. Remember, we took him off the bench for a Pyatt in the final. Happy to get some money for him. He's gone to Cheltenham, who are, I believe, also League Two, League One. Cheltenham. So a big step up for him. Fair play to him. Decent money in for him as well. I think, what are we getting for him? I can't remember off the top of my head. There you go. 1k per game for the next 10 appearances. So providing he plays 10 games for Cheltenham, we're guaranteed £60,000. And then Jake Williamson to Preston, £65,000. Again, a player that we got on a free transfer a few years back. He never actually played for us. He spent few years out on loan to various teams, playing decently. He was a good little player. He's a decent player. You can see there. He's going on to Preston again. Once the bigger teams start to come in for him, he wants to leave. It's tough to keep them. He's gone for £65,000 and the loan back in for the season. He's not going to be a starter, but we've got him back for the season. As I mentioned in the intro, still in the process of board takeover. We haven't heard anything in months about it. If we just search takeover, there you go. We can see nothing in the last 150 messages. I'm not 100% sure if it's glitched or not. I'll be honest, I don't know if it's glitched or not. The last message we got was just before the playoff final, where the current chairman said he wanted to speed things up so we could operate in the transfer window. We've heard nothing since. So, yeah, I don't know what to do with that. We'll leave it for a bit longer. But if not, I don't know if we can use the in-game editor to change things around. If we can, set him back to happy at the club or whatever. I don't know what we can do. But obviously you can see, just to prove to people, we haven't used the in-game editor yet. But it is available should we choose to use it. And we might have to in that situation. So, like I say, we'll see what happens there. In terms of season preview, we are expected to be 12th place, which I'd be happy with. I would be happy with 12th place. Obviously, last season was a massive overperformance. We've got some very good teams in this league. Obviously, Grimsby, we saw how good they were last season. Fylde have always been up and around there. Boston, Hartlepool, Bournemouth, fighting for playoffs. Solihull Moors fighting for playoffs. Torquay and Morecambe both came down. They're big teams. Rochdale had a poor season last season, but you'd expect them to bounce back as well. There's some very, very good teams in here. The board want mid-table, competitive in the FA Trophy, first round of the FA Cup. Supporters just want us to avoid relegation once again. So, I think we're in with a decent chance of hitting all of these goals. And we have a new formation. You can see we play an awful lot of pre-season games. We've got quite a big squad. I've been trying to use it as much as possible to get players in. Just the one injury in pre-season, and it was James Norris picking up a damaged spine in a tackle. So he's missed about 2 weeks so far. He's going to be out for 2 to 4 months. Quite a big injury. Quite disappointed for him, and hopefully he can recover fully. But let's go and meet this new formation, shall we? So you can see Boston United played an early kickoff. They beat Bath 2-0 to open their season off in style. We are away against Leyton Orient. Again, very decent team. And we're going with a 4-1-4-1 this time. A bit more defensively than we've seen before. In the hopes of, just trying to be as solid as possible. We want to build this team on being a rock at the back. If we don't concede, we can't lose games, is my motive going into the season. Let's see how long it lasts for. They've got Murray Jones in goal. Stevenson and Munro are the full-backs, or the wing-backs in this case. Scott and Apaya are in central defence. Apaya, of course, 6'3". He's a tall guy. Scott is 6'5". He's a tall guy. Tall defenders in there. Collier moves into a ball-winning midfielder position in the DM role. He is our only real option in that position. Todd Alcock, he's decent. But just a couple of his attributes that he needs to round out a bit. His marking, his concentration. He is a backup in that position should Collier need a rest or pick up an injury. But that is one position we are struggling in. So should we pick up an injury, we may have to change things there. Dixon and McCoy continue on the wings with Gray and Blasic in midfield. The only difference this time is Gray is an advanced playmaker instead of a roaming playmaker or deep line playmaker. And it's Gray instead of Blasic. Blasic goes into the central midfielder role. Again, I think he's a very, very good player. He is such a crucial player for us, Blasic. But I just think the attributes of Gray suit him a bit better to that advanced playmaker role. You can see there how good he actually is. Flair and teamwork are the only two that are below a 10. So, he's a very, very good player at this level. And then Bell up top by himself. We've got Williamson, Stewart, Rowe, Turner, Cook and Mallon on the bench. Very attacking, I get that. But my thinking is, should we need to go more attacking, you can push your wingers up. And then that's where you've got the likes of Turner, Cook that can play on either side. Williamson can play on either side or in midfield. Rowe can play, on the right-hand side or in midfield as well. So it's that flexibility that we have. Like I say, hopefully we can go and perform. We had a decent pre-season. We lost a couple of games against teams we should have been beating. But we also put in some decent performances against bigger teams. So I don't really know where we stand coming into this game. We are, of course, going to tell them that we're going to get revenge. I want to tell Munro that we want to see good performance because he was complacent and that has motivated him. So, brilliant news. Leyton Orient in a 4-3-3 to kick off the season with a lot of players whose name doesn't look like I can pronounce. That's going to be fun. And, of course, this will be your first look at this formation as well. We've gone with a clean slate style as well. We've had things in during the pre-season. We'll look at developing that over the season as well. Let me just change all of these back to what we want them to be. We don't want the match momentum anymore because we're back playing. We want that's the league table up, even though it's very early in the season. Leyton Orient having a couple of early chances according to them statistics, nothing highlight worthy, and no shots on target from them yet. It's going to be very interesting to see how good we are defensively and how much we sacrifice in attack. So it's going to be one of them seasons, I think, where it's sort of a transition season for us. We're looking to slowly move away from the 4-4-2, be it this defensive sort of system, or if we do go more attacking as Dixon gives the ball away. Taylor back to Fieldson, back to Taylor. And another Taylor, McCormack, in midfield. Fieldson and K. Taylor. Into G. Taylor, back to Fieldson. Leyton Orient knocking it around, but only sort of in midfield. They've got a minute of stoppage time. And not really going anyone here, but ball forward, Apaya wins the header. Gray can't flick it on. Gamma allowed to bring it down. Nkrumah's cross is blocked to G Taylor, to A Taylor. Back to G Taylor. It's a team full of Taylors. The shot just wide of the post there. And we go in at half time with a 0-0 scoreline. Just a one highlight. I'm going to tell them we're not happy. I'm going to tell Moreau that I'm not happy. He's still complacent. Brilliant. And I think we look at making a change up top. We're going to take Bell off for Stewart. And I'm actually tempted to bring Mallon on for Monroe at left back. Both of them not having fantastic opening days so far. So that is the two changes we will make. Taylor with the throw-in. How many Taylors does this team have? In behind for Nkrumah, and we've given away a penalty. Referees at this level are horrendous. First of all, I'm pretty sure he was offside. And secondly, it's just not a penalty and it's saved. Regardless, how do I rewind this? Because I'm pretty sure as this ball is played, he might not be offside. Fair enough. It's him, isn't it? Okay, fair enough. He's not offside. Fine. Fine, he's onside, but it wasn't a penalty regardless. Anyway, Murray Jones saves it, so it doesn't matter. Out for a corner. Let's shout some words of encouragement. We've had that penalty save. Let's, try and kick on now. Use that to motivate us. They've got another corner here. McCormack's header goes off of Blazic and out. Now McCormack to take here. Delivered in. A Apaya heads clear. How many Taylors do they have? 1, 2, 3 Taylors starting. None on the bench. We've got Kane Taylor, Adam Taylor, and Gavin Taylor. Team full of Taylors. But at the moment, they are not creating anything in this game. Half an hour to go. We haven't actually seen an attacking highlight from us yet. Collier into Blazic. Apaya out for Mallon. He cuts central and goes back to Apaya. He looks towards Stewart, who beats his man. Leighton Stewart, big save from Foster. And Fieldson clears it out for a throw-in. Let's demand more. See if we can fire them up a bit. We are on a positive style as well. That's how we started the game. Let's go very attacking. 20 minutes to go. I want to see us try and win this game. Doria Henry in behind for Justin. Cross is blocked. Mallon's not going to get there. Second time with a cross and Nkrumah's header off the bar. Justin gets there, but it's a crucial block by Apaya who clears it downfield. McCoy can't create anything from that. Stevens is not having a great game at right back. What changes do we make here now? I think we do what we said. And we push the wingers forward. I think we take off McCoy for Turner Cook. See if that can create us a bit more in the attacking sense. Scott clears. Stewart brings it down, but he's got no support up there. Just plays it against Taylor. Scott clears, and we're asking an awful lot from the strikers. Yeah, Collier into Turner Cook. Stewart, again, nobody really running forward, but doesn't look like he needs it. Skips past one and hits one from range. It's a very poor effort in the end. Let's demand more once again. It looks like it might be a 0-0 to start the season off. And hasn't been the best of games, let's be honest. The missed penalty from Leighton Orient is the only real chance we've seen all game. And I'm going to tell them that I'm not happy with that performance. It's not an ideal start to the season, but it's a draw against a decent team away from home on the opening day. You'd take it, wouldn't you? You would take it. We'll see what we can do to build on this tactic going forward. We have a home game against Doncaster in 7 days' time, so that's what we're going back for in one moment. Going for the home game against Doncaster, same 11, changing formation once again. Murray Jones is in goal. Stevenson, Scott, Apaya, and Monroe back four. Collier, Gray, and Blasic in the midfield trio. We now have two wingers more advanced in their attacking midfielder roles. Dixon and McCoy with Bell up top, and hoping that these can now provide a bit more width and a bit more attacking impetus is the plan. I don't think I'm going to make any more changes at the moment, but Mazzala is, I'm tempted. I'm very tempted with Mazzala. I won't lie. And goalkeeper is now on defend as well instead of sweeper keeper, as we've dropped to balanced instead of positive. So we just wanted to increase them their required roles, shall we say. So once again, go and try and get some revenge. Obviously, us in our 4-3-3. And Doncaster in the exact same formation. Lost their opening game of the season, so they're sat in 17th place. We are, of course, 14th place. And we need to try and win as many home games as possible this season. I know the board want mid-table and we're predicted to finish mid-table, but after a season in the playoffs again last season, we really need to be trying to get back in there in successive years. Blasic with a free kick from range over the bar. Free kicks are something that we haven't really taken much advantage of, because apparently our best free kick taker in the team is Murray Jones, our goalkeeper. I don't particularly want our goalkeeper to be up taking free kicks, because if he doesn't score them and he stays in play, we're 1-0 down. So, yeah, I don't really want him taking them. They also don't want to take, individual training off anyone else in whatever it may be to put them on free kicks. So, yeah, stuck between a rock and a hard place. Again, a half with very little highlights. I'm going to tell them it needs to improve. And Sam Bell is going to come off a Turner Cup this time, I think. Paya's not having the best game, neither is Dixon. Do we make all three changes at half time, do we think? Williamson on for Dixon. Mallon on for Apaya. We're doing it. All three changes at half time. We haven't actually been that bad. But performance-wise, they need to improve. So we are also going to demand more from the player. Flower knocks the header down to Atkinson, gets it back off him. Tries to pull it across, it's blocked. Burnham saves. Widdop should score, doesn't score. Keeps it alive, it's looped up in the air. Flower knocks it down. Gray clears. Referee says no foul. That one's more of a penalty that we conceded in the last two games we played. But, enough about that. We're not still salty about last year. Yes, we are. Widdop with the corner ball. Delivered in and just over the bar. And we are going cautious here. And we're going to berate the team to see if we can wake them up a little bit. Hasn't really had the desired effect. But, probably expect that when you're being berating a team at 0-0. With 25 minutes to go, Widdop allowed to just bring it forward. Switches play to Atkinson. He plays it into Vernon. Flower must have been offside, surely. Held by the goalkeeper. I want to try something here. Let's go to a gegenpress style for the final 20-odd minutes of this game. See if that can make any sort of difference. I don't really want to be using the preset tactical instructions or whatever this year, but I want to get out of this league. I want to get promoted so bad, and if it means me using a preset gegenpress for the season, then that might be what we have to do. Ball lumped forward, Scott heads clear. Williamson gets there, back to Scott. He lumps forward once again to nobody. Ball in behind for Widdop, tries to pull across, it's blocked. Collier clears. Couchman now can get it back in. There's a lot of pressure building for Doncaster. There's surely a goal coming. It's just wide of the post from Flowers. With 10 minutes to go in this game, I think we might have second 0-0 here. And we have been poor. We have been very, very poor. That is full time. We're going to thrash our arms and tell them I'm far from pleased with that. We need this takeover to happen as soon as possible because we need to bring in players. We need to bring in players. Unless we go back to the initial 4-4-2, which is the only sort of thing that this team is capable of. That it might be what we have to do because we don't have the players really to play a more expansive system like I want to. Turner Cook is now 7 hours of football without scoring. Yeah, it's not the best opening episode, is it? We know what we're doing. We'll come back with the FA Cup in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you then. Bye bye.